Hello and welcome to ICANN Media. We are coming to you from beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. We are just outside of Canada Place where a huge conference is going on called Globe 2014. I'm your host, Rob Hislop, and over the next couple of days we're going to be heading into the conference, taking in some of the many sessions and talking to some of the keynote speakers. Some of the topics discussed: changing energy landscapes and responsible resource management. Now, there are over 250 plus speakers, world leaders in their industry, talking here over the next 3 days. 50 plus countries are represented, and there are over 300 exhibitors at the trade show. We are going to give you a taste of what Globe 2014 has in store. Joining us now on ICANN Media is Gord and Lambert with Suncor Energy. Gordon, you were part of a panel right now talking about corporate responsibility in the new age of transparency. I imagine your industry is undergoing some big changes in that.
Absolutely, and you know, the term radical transparency came up during the session, and I think really that's what it feels like on our side. We're living in the fishbowl a bit, and you know, anything we do anywhere in the world actually gets communicated real time to everyone else, and so you have to rise to the challenge of that, and it is daunting.
Well, and you say that you think that the oil industry is facing some difficulties with this and trying to adapt to the new media, I guess, it's out there, and ensuring that you have a good social reputation and license as well.
Yeah, and it's a real dilemma for us that how the receivers of information distinguish between accurate information versus misinformation creates a real dilemma. Who is the trusted broker of the facts? Mm-hmm. And when we try and communicate factual information, often it's given a discount factor. People feel it, oh well, gee, it's not, it's the industry talking, you know, and even governments are struggling, I think, around trust as well. So, you know, it's yet to be determined who's going to fill that important trust broker role.
One of the things that was discussed up on the panel is the fact that many industries and government have spent decades eroding the public trust. So how do you now end up turning that around? That would likely be the biggest challenge you've got.
Yeah, and there's some precedents. I mean, one that I think about a bit is the chemical industry. You know, at the time of Bhopal, they had a real serious trust issue that no community wanted chemical plants next to them. The responsible care program that the chemical industry created that did cause more community engagement to occur, and plus some best practices that were put into place, did result in them pulling out of that trust deficit, and now you don't see them in the front page headlines these days. You know, they did have to raise their game. They had to become more transparent. A lot of it, though, is human interaction, and I think that's something we have to really not lose sight of. The social media is transactional, but you really build your trust through community engagement in the communities in which you operate, and start from there and build out.
So engagement is likely more important than the way you report stuff, because that was another issue that sometimes people don't understand the language of the report, whereas if you're actually out there, you can engage with people.
Exactly. I mean, at that human level, that's the ground up basis of building trust. It's hard work, but for our employees that operate our facilities in these communities, we really encourage that they be the ones to be the face of the company. They get out, talk to people, you know, do open houses, invite the community in to what they're doing. Yeah, it starts from that, and you can build from it.
So you've been in the industry for a while. Is it difficult for this change to happen as quickly as perhaps it should?
Yeah, I think it's difficult. The scale at which we're doing things these days is much greater. The pace of change is higher, and the people and the public, I think, they have anxiety about some of the complex issues we're facing, like climate change, and that combination of anxiety about change and low trust in traditional institutions creates a real tension there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You say, too, that it's almost overwhelming with social media and trying to get the message out and dealing with this. How do you bring it into a point where you can feel comfortable getting your message out and you feel like you're getting the right message out as well?
Yeah, and I'll start, too, by saying there's the message getting out that's important, but also listening, trying to really mine the social media to find out what are people really saying. Can that help inform your positioning and your strategy? More and more we're starting to leverage that capability, that kind of listening capability to social media. And then when we deliver our messages outward, we know they're the right things, that we're telling people, it's the topics they're interested in, that they care about.
Do you have a time frame in mind that you think you can actually turn things around, get more of the public on your side, get people understanding what you're doing, and that you are changing your ways perhaps as an industry?
It is a long game. I wouldn't say there's any quick fixes there. The willingness to be transparent is almost job one, though. That willingness to be transparent starts to build that trust we're talking of. And then I just think we have to engage, listen, and respond, and not default to declare and defend.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You've been chatting with Gord and Lambert from Suncor Energy.